I'm Stuart from the Caravan and Camping Association, and we're here at ARB to do one of our other Ask an Expert videos. And we're on busy South Road here, Justin, and you've got this fantastic setup here that we'll show you later. But we're going to go inside. And I don't know if you've seen the shop before, everyone, but you really got to come down and check it out. It's awesome. So follow us, and we're going to take you through some of the essential items that you put in your four-wheel drive if you want to be a bit more adventurous. So follow us. All right, Justin, so we've just come inside. It's a little bit quieter in here, but the showroom's awesome. So when we talk about your four-wheel drive, a lot of people got four-wheel drives in their driveway and in their garage, and they're probably just driving to work. Maybe they're a bit of a larger wagon to get kids around, bus them around and stuff. But really, people are missing out on a really good opportunity to be a little bit more adventurous without being too risky in terms of maybe damage to their car or anything. But what I want you to do is just take us through, I guess, what are the most essential items to put in your four-wheel drive if you wanted to be a little bit more adventurous. So, and of course, we're here at the front of the vehicle, so we're going to talk about Bullbars.
Vehicle protection is pretty important to obviously protect the vehicle, particularly here in South Australia. A lot of the touring we do is longer distance, it's the Flinders, places like that. Animal strike and vehicle immobilisation is a fairly serious issue. Obviously something along the lines of these style of bars will give you protection to the vehicle, keep you mobile if the worst happens. Obviously we hope we never need it. It also acts as a handy accessory too for putting things like driving lights if you're doing a bit of night driving on those longer commutes. Antenna mounts for UHF radios, sand flag mounts if you're heading off to the deserts. There's some practical applications which modern cars, it's getting harder and harder to mount that stuff to the car itself. The Bullbar gives you an option to do that. So
talk about Bullbar, like I've got airbags and other gadgets and gizmos in my car that I don't know what they do, but these all comply to that because you have to make these specifically to suit the vehicle and the other safety features of it.
Correct, you're right. ARB was actually the first manufacturer to produce an airbag compatible bull bar, and obviously since then we've built on that. We continue to develop for all of your forward facing radars, parking sensors, all those sorts of things.
Radars, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. And this has always been on my mind, so you got an alloy version. Is that commercial version steel?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So for the average person that's driving around town that wants to go to the Flinders and to do a few off-road tracks, what do you recommend between the two?
Generally, in terms of ultimate protection, still the best bet.
Okay.
It's the best one by far. Alloy comes in second place. It does give the option. Some people prefer the cosmetic look of an alloy bar. There is a bit more maintenance involved in keeping it polished and looking like that versus your alloy bar, your steel bars, which stone chips and things don't tend to show as much as they do on the alloy.
I can see what you mean by you could add stuff on there. So you got your lights. You said you can put the aerial on there, and
correct.
So that's probably the first item at the front of the car that you'd fit on. So let's go check out what you might fit around the middle of the car.
Yep. Should we have a look at suspension and snorkels?
That's great.
Cool.
Okay. So look, Justin, we were just about to go over to see the middle of the vehicle and some different parts, but I saw this smart bar. Now, that looks like it's made of plastic?
Correct. It is. It's an ABS plastic. It's made here in South Australia down at Lonsdale. Smart bar is part of the ARB Corporation. They also manufacture our long-range tanks as well for us.
Excellent. So that's another option on the alloy and the steel, and you've got the... Yeah. Excellent. All right, well, let's keep going and we'll get back over to that middle of the car area.
Excellent.
All right, Justin. These look pretty impressive. What are we talking about here?
They do. So we're talking about suspension here, and obviously one of the best things you can do for your vehicle, if you're towing, caravan, camping, give it some lift, help you off-road, better access to places, also better load carrying capability, and increase the stability and improve the ride and handling of the vehicle as well.
Alright, we're going to move away over here, so we're going to walk. Sorry, George, you have to move the camera. These look pretty special. Maybe that's a discussion for another day.
They are. They're bypass shocks. Certainly come and speak to us about those.
Okay, so look. It seems to be a lot of people have these on their vehicles.
Yes.
What are we talking here, and what is it for?
So Safari Snorkel, again Australian made. Basically what we're doing is increasing the cool air into the vehicle. We're also getting the air intake out away from the dust, so you get a cleaner, cooler air into the engine.
Alright, now here's a question I've always had. Should this thing face forward or back?
Forward normally, backwards in snow. heavily leafed areas or heavy dust. Or if you're going in really heavy dust, you can get the Donaldson pre-cleaner. That comes off and it goes on top.
Just talking about this thing here, so they can spin around.
Yep.
And you've obviously got here, this is a fuel filter.
Correct, yep. So for helping to pre-clean the fuel before it goes through the factory filters.
I think that's really worthwhile, especially if you go in the middle of nowhere and you're getting some fuel from some interesting places that maybe don't get fuel that regularly.
Correct,
is that how I say it?
Indeed, yep. And obviously your water separator on the bottom, so if there is some water, gets it out before it goes into the engine.
All right, now I see these nearly on every four-wheel drive with a rack on top. So let me tell you about these, Justin. So my understanding is we use these for when we're bogged.
Correct.
So that could be in sand or mud. I even used them in my backyard when I had a little dingo and it was too boggy and it wouldn't ride, so I chucked these under there as well. So what's different about these?
Again, these Australian made, being Tread Pro. They're an ARB product. The beauty of these is a lot of people think winches and things like that for recovery. You need something to attach it to, which if you're talking about the deserts and things like that, a set of those on beaches where there's nothing to actually attach a winch to gets you going again, as you saw with the dingo.
So really, if I was trying to sell to my wife, I want to buy something from a four-wheel drive, it's all about safety.
Correct.
So it's how to get an approval on a purchase. This is about safety for the family, to get me out of trouble if the family gets stuck in the car.
Indeed. Yep.
Okay. All right, so we've got lots of other cool stuff here. Yep. Now we're down to here.
Correct. So we're getting into the recovery straps, winch straps, all that sort of stuff, which obviously have their place. It's really important to make sure you're matching up the strap with the vehicle and tow that you're going to be doing and what it is you're going to be recovering. So, have a chat about what size van, does it have recovery points, what recovery points are on the vehicle, and making sure we do all that safely.
So let's say we're on the beach with a camper trailer, we're in our four-wheel drive and we get bogged. Yep. Obviously you need someone with you to use a recovery strap?
Correct, yeah. You'll need another vehicle, or in the case of a camper that's bogged, ideally you want to actually take the camper off the vehicle, recover the vehicle, and then recover the camper separately. You're reducing the loads and chances.
It's a really good point. I didn't know that one. And so these connect to the vehicle now. How do you connect these to the rear of a vehicle or the front of a vehicle?
Yep, so generally you want a rated recovery point at the front. On the rear, most vehicles have a tow bar obviously these days, and there is some recovery hitches that slide in and allow you to attach the strap to a shackle. Never ever put it on the tow bar.
Okay, so never put on the tow bar, and on the tow ball, and on the front of it, can we connect this to a bull bar?
If it's got rated recovery points, so something similar to that. And this particular one's for a Range Rover
on it as well.
Yep, and as you can see, the ARB point is actually engineered about what it attaches to. It's not just a little bit of laser cut steel that you then go and bolt to something.
So if you don't have that, you got to connect it to like a tow hook?
No,
not a tow hook. No.
Hooks. Yep.
Okay.
If in doubt, recover it backwards if you have to.
That's a really good point.
The best way is to make sure you've got rated recovery points, front and rear. Or again, if you've got a winch, then use the winch to recover the vehicle.
And so if we're not sure if it's got weighted recovery points, we could just give you guys a buzz and you'll help us out trying to figure out if it's got it.
Swing past and we can have a look for you.
So we're now going to head over to the rear of the vehicle to talk about some other goodies that you can put on there.
Fridges.
Excellent.
Indeed.
All right, Justin, we're here to look at some drawers, but before we do, I just want to show you quickly, everyone, you need to get one of these. This is an awning that kind of bolts to the side of your roof racks, and this is really worthwhile. And I found personally, Justin, this is just me, I'm not an expert, that when the two families, you pull up, you can put them out together and they join up and you can put a bit of a windbreak. So look, these don't cost the earth, but I reckon these are probably a really important thing to put on your car. It's just so much more useful for getting out of the sun and everything. So anyway, we're here to look at these. Now, I don't know how to work these, Justin. Can you show me?
So we've got the fridge slide here. Quick push in. Puts it away. That's on the lower height drawer. So it's obviously designed for access into the fridge. Or you can have your full height drawers, which give you more storage capacity, but of course if you have a fridge on top of that, makes access a little bit harder. So we have a range of drawers.
So this is awesome. How do I use it? Oh, gee, that's easy.
And then a lock in there.
Oh, I don't have to do my back end to get into the fridge. I need one of these.
And the beauty is then it locks in the out position, so if you park on a bit of a hill, it's not trying to close on you all the time.
And how do we push it back in?
Yep, just give it a good shove.
Oh, that's easy. Oh, and I reckon, so something like this would stop the rattles a bit too in the car.
It does.
The noises.
Yep. And the beauty is then all your stuff stored, ready to get access to. You can still have the back loaded up and get access to the stuff you want to, such as recovery gear, tools, bits and pieces you might keep.
If I was wanting to get approval to purchase it, I could sell it on safety again.
Definitely.
I could say this is safety for the family, so it's all in there. All right, so we've gone from the front of the vehicle to the back of some essentials that we think that are probably pretty good for a four-wheel drive. Now, I do want to cover one more thing extra that we haven't. I want you to take us over to talk about compressors.
Yes, yep.
Because I know that when I went away, I was always putting the tyres up and down, and I kind of liked it because it was a bit of fun, but, you know, if we didn't have a compressor, I was worried about my tyres being cut and the ride being really stiff. So let's go have a quick look at that.
Indeed.
All right. Hey Justin, look, I know that we just quickly popped over from the back of the car, but I really wanted to touch on compressors because what I learned when I went away was it was really important tyre pressures. I went up to Mount Dare and they talked about tyre pressures a lot, so and I really couldn't have done it without a compressor. So just tell me a little bit quickly about compressors.
Yep. Obviously with compressors most people think sand, but even in places like the Flinders where you're on loose, shaly rock, just dropping 5-10 psi out of the tyres will give you much better traction than running highway pressures. Also, if you're on dirt roads and things like that, you're also not damaging the carcass of the tyre where it's belting into rocks on those dirt roads. So really important to monitor your tyre pressure.
Because I found the difference letting down that 5 or 7 psi was just amazing. It was actually quite amazing how much difference it made, especially on the really rough roads. So like price-wise, what are we talking here roughly?
Yep, so somewhere around $350 up, depending on how far you want to go for something like the good, reliable single compressor. But obviously, you know, there's twins, there's all sorts of options there that you can go to beyond that.
And you don't have to fit it in your vehicle, you can just be in the backpack?
Correct.
In the
so
boot?
Something like that one's mounted in the box, ready to go.
Yeah.
Or there is vehicle mounts if you don't want to go for a portable.
Excellent. Well, thanks Justin, and thanks for having us here at ARB. This is an amazing shop. I haven't been here for a while, so this is awesome, and I really recommend that you come down and have a look. So we've just touched on the essentials that we think that you might want to add onto your four-wheel drive, and just to really allow you just to have a bit more peace of mind if you're going out and about a little bit further, the roads are a bit rougher, maybe the terrain's a bit steeper. So this is just touching on a few things that will really make your caravan and camping holiday a lot more enjoyable and a lot more fun, and as I said, a lot more peace of mind. So thanks so much, Justin, and there'll be more Ask an Expert videos like this, so thank you so much for watching.